My name is Mira and I'm part of the League Fellowship Program at Eastern State.
And I'm Lauren, Director of Education here at Eastern State, co-hosting with Mira today. Eastern State's honored to host this event as we work towards our mission of deepening the conversation around justice in America and working to reclaim this space, a space of trauma, a space of oppression, as a space for reflection and inspiration. And today we're also honoring the grandmother of the Juneteenth holiday, Opal Lee. I'm wanting to share this quote for reflection for all of us, that nobody is free until we are all free. I'd like to welcome Peter On, our neighbor here in Fairmount, representing Olivet Church, who's one of our partners in the vision for today's Juneteenth musical performance by the Black Breath Collective. Peter.
Juneteenth and the Independence Day have some things in common. The key word is freedom and liberation. So we're going to sing both lament and freedom, blues and jazz. In a liminal place between lament and freedom is our hope. Celebration of joy doesn't deny the reality of ongoing oppression and suffering. This celebration is a form of resistance, but also names pain and suffering of our collective human endeavor.
Welcome to Unshackled at the historic Eastern State Penitentiary Museum, where the echoes of the past linger in every corner. We invite you to embark on a transformative journey. Today, we honor not just the emancipation from physical chains, but the liberation from the emotional and psychological prisons that still confine us. As the notes of sorrow and joy echo through the ancient halls, we honor Juneteenth.
Into the light of the dark that night. The troubles of this world, the troubles of this world, the troubles of this world.
I was born by the river in a little town.
Being a woman, not the struggle. Being black, not the struggle. Every word I say, ain't no stopping us now. We're all moving and grooving. Ain't no stopping us now. I'm only human. Don't put your blame on
And we're actually here with this panel, going to really dig in pretty deeply into the history of this holiday and its significance. I'd like to introduce Michael Cord. He's a criminal defense attorney, community activist, professor, radio host, television host, and writer for the Philadelphia Tribune and Philadelphia Magazine. So directly to Michael's right is Ishmael Jimenez. He's a dedicated educator and advisor to Eastern State for many, many years, 17 years. Has worked with students in Philadelphia from preschool to high school ages, and currently he's the director of social studies curriculum for the school district of Philadelphia. Michael, I wanted to first turn to you and ask if you can explain the historical significance of Juneteenth and also how it became a symbol of freedom and liberation.
Excellent question, but every time I talk about slavery-related topics, I always feel compelled, thanks to Dr. Edward Robinson, if anybody knows him. He always says, Mike, you got to put it in context, because when you begin to talk about slavery, we lead our children to believe that the beginning of the history of black people began with slavery. And actually, believe it or not, slavery is not black history, slavery is white history. They didn't just call it Juneteenth, they actually called it Freedom Day, Emancipation Day, Jubilee Day, but I love to call it the first real American Independence Day, but I put quotations around it because we're talking about June 19, 1865. So the significance, and here's the answer, the significance of Juneteenth, it shows the resilience of Africans. If there's a moral to the story of slavery, it's the resilience of Africans.
So Juneteenth was not simply a day where people dressed up and had a parade, but it also was an opportunity for people in the local community to organize, to highlight the fact that their rights were even getting taken away as Reconstruction started to subside, and at the same time as people started to move from Texas, escaping terrorism, domestic terrorism, they brought that tradition with them. And that's how Juneteenth spread across the whole country. And so when we talk about what needs to be done, that's what we need to educate our babies on, because like Michael just said so beautifully, and I agree 100%, when we talk about slavery, the institution of slavery, that's not Black history, that's white history. So if Black people weren't here advocating for freedom, making things up like Juneteenth, would we even know what freedom is? And our babies need to know that regardless of their racial identity.
But I do want to say, it's interesting to me, and I think perfectly appropriate to have a Juneteenth acknowledgement inside of a prison. Why? Because so-called free Blacks in America are still in America's prison.
And so right there in that space, I know that this is what makes this so powerful. Because this is not supposed to be a space where we're talking about liberation. This is not supposed to be a space that we're supposed to be free and thinking for ourselves. Yet at the same time, that's happening. That happens right now in prisons across the country. So when I reflect within these prison walls, we in prison walls, and I might be bleeding on my fist and broken knuckles because I've been hitting this brick wall for too long. But symbolically, one day that bitch gonna break, pardon my French.
And Gil Scott-Heron, one of the greatest poets in history, said, just because you can't do everything doesn't mean you shouldn't do anything.